What is going on, Elf Hunters? Hopefully, you're having a very fantastic Friday. Getting ready for a wonderful weekend. Let's see what is going to. We're going to finish out on the markets this week. We've had a pretty crazy week on the markets. We'll take a kind of a quick snap shot of the whole week. But I mean, we're going to end on a positive note for the week. I mean, without a doubt. Not much of a gap today. We had a little bit of a gap up. Yesterday afternoon, we did get the FOMC decision to lower the Fed funds rate a quarter point. So there you go. Anyways, you see, it got a little squirrely there when we got the announcement. Not too much happened. I mean, we've already had a pretty positive week, pretty directional, especially there on Wednesday. And then some steadiness higher during the talks, I guess, in the afternoon period. So we've just kind of continued higher today. Pretty optimistic week. So looking pretty good there on the SPY, currently up about a third of a percent. The Q's negative. Now, kind of talked a little bit about the optimism in the Q's area. Because the Q's actually did very well yesterday compared to the other four ETFs I can track here across the markets. So the Q's did pretty well, but this would be the area I would say I would be least optimistic about, most likely, just because not to say the incoming administration is going to be like anti-tech, but I don't exactly see. Just kind of my perspective. I don't exactly see policies that are more pro large corporations. I see policies that are more pro smaller companies, and so yeah, I just would rather be allocated into the IWM. So the Q is currently negative about 0.1%. The IWM currently up about 0.5%, not quite. But you can see it's kind of choppy, trading higher. IWM did have a very strong day on Wednesday. Not quite the follow through yesterday, but I mean, it was up so much Wednesday. Kind of expect a little bit of a rest. But anyways, I would probably be looking for IWM plays. Take a look at the daily, probably on some pullbacks. DIA, nice trend to kind of start today. Nice little gap up. Quick little pullback there in the first 10 minutes, and then nice strong trend there. First hour, 15 minutes or so. A little bit of a settle out here the past 15 minutes. RSP, yeah, kind of same thing. A little bit of a gap up, nice little pullback. Trended higher. Currently at session highs. Okay, looking pretty good there. RSP though, yeah, I mean, we had a very strong day on Wednesday. Kind of a hangout day yesterday. Not really too much kind of going on. Continuing a little bit higher today. Currently at 0.6%. DIA is also currently at 0.6%, looking pretty good there on the daily. And IWM looking pretty good, currently about a third. Yeah, I would be looking for some pullbacks. Yeah, I think I would just be waiting for some pullbacks. Q's. Yeah, you can see how strong it was yesterday compared to the others that we just looked at on the daily. Q's were just strong yesterday. And it might have been part of it was we broke through the previous all-time high that we had back in July, and we got that close over the new all-time high close on Wednesday. So we probably got a little bit of a follow through yesterday, but this would be the area I would be least weighted towards right now, just because the largest companies out there are tech and. New administration coming in. I don't exactly see a lot of pro big business policies. I think the IWM would probably be the better play, which the market kind of tended to agree with that because it was up huge on Wednesday. It was up 5.8% on Wednesday on close. So yeah, IWM had a great week just because of that Wednesday performance. SPY up 2.5% there on Wednesday. A little bit of a follow through day yesterday, up 0.75%. Today up about a third currently. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Q's SPY RSP are going to be horrible investments, but will they be as good as what they were over the past couple of years? That's a tough one. I don't think so. I'm not going to say that they're bearish. I mean, the market is typically usually never bearish, but what I'm trying to say is the allocation between SPY, Qs, IWM, small caps, even RSP, right? RSP has more weighting to the smaller companies, right? Because of that equal weighting. So IWM, RSP might be poised to work out of these five, work very well. If you have, other ETFs and other ways you kind of look to allocate across that kind of mindset, that might be solid. You probably look into some of that, but IWM, we know over the past couple of years had not gotten back up to that COVID high that it put in back in late 2021. So it's taken years to get back up to there, and obviously this week we got through there. If you take a look at the Qs got through there in 2023, and then SPY also got through that all-time high back in 2023 as well. Obviously the RSP did as well. So yeah, the IWM definitely underperformed over the past couple of years, and so it might be poised on some decent performance here going forward, especially with new administration, new policies, and that kind of stuff. VIX continuing lower today. People are figuring out what's going on. What is the questions are getting answered, right? Came into this week, a lot of questions. Who's going to win the election? How much of a change in not just the presidential election, but just Senate, Congress, how much is it going to align across, the spectrum? So we got a lot of that answered. We got FOMC information yesterday. So yeah, a lot of unknowns, right, out of the market. So you got the VIX drop off, continuing a little bit of a drop off today. Dollar index DXY up, going to have a weekly close over the past couple of weeks. It's going to be kind of important, right? We had that strong pop there Wednesday, nice little wicked strong pullback yesterday, but just kind of pulled back into that 10 EMA. Looks like it's going to bounce off that for now. Other than that, we'll see what happens with the dollar next week. See, GLD Gold Trust down a little bit. I'm not going to be surprised if this kind of rolls down a little bit more. Where the long term is at if we break down that 50. So if we do break down that 50, you have a decent room here down to like the mid 230 area. But again, I would not want to be playing GLD gold bearish. Just because we got a new administration coming in doesn't mean that they're not going to be issuing debt. So I still think inflation debt will probably persist for a good period of time. But just have to kind of keep an eye on that. 10-year yield pulling back a little bit today. Okay. Are we going to completely reverse this huge move that we had on Wednesday? That'd be the question. Yeah. We'll keep an eye on yields. If that winds up dropping off and definitely rolling over, could be pretty good for bonds. It might not be a bad idea to maybe go bullish on bonds. Interesting. So the 10 and 2, so the 2 years actually doing pretty good today then. So the 2 years actually up. Interesting. So the 30 year is also down. So, okay. So the 10 and 2 inversion definitely down. The 1 was really close. The 10 and 1 was really close. So the 10 and 1's back below the 0 line. Okay, so So we're not going to be continuing higher now. Um, okay. Anyways, it's just something to keep an eye on. HYG, yep. Small cap bonds, basically. Think about that on the HYG. Small cap bonds looking pretty good there. LQD, nice rally here. TLT, continuing higher. Has not gotten above this group of highs. Yeah, trying to diagnose the volatile weeks are kind of a pain. So it's like, okay, what's retest? What are breakouts? What are fakes? And yeah, it's all different kinds of stuff kind of going on. So definitely want to see across some bonds, like how things kind of set up going forward. Just a quick look at the heat map. CAT actually down. Interesting. And Tesla's doing pretty good. Okay. Tesla, Lilly, Amazon's down a little bit, so we'll just see discretionaries doing pretty good. Sector performance. Okay, so sector performance. Outperformers on the day, real estate, which makes sense. We're seeing long-term yields are down, so it makes sense real estate's at the higher end of the day. And then we got, what was it, utilities? Utilities doing pretty good. Discretionaries, industrials, financials. Discretionaries make sense. We just saw Tesla doing pretty good. Staples doing pretty good. Healthcare doing pretty good. These two sectors lagged over the past 2 days, and the market was extremely bullish. So, you know, I wouldn't delve too much into that. Energies underperforming a little bit there. Tech underperforming quite a bit. We see that with the Qs underperforming SPY. Materials, communications at the lower end of the day. Communications, yeah. Alphabet, Meta, Nvidia also down over 1%. As far as intraday price action, yeah, real estate continuing to do pretty good throughout the intraday. Discretionaries doing pretty good there during the day. Industrials, utilities, staples all outperforming, doing pretty well there. Healthcare as well. Financials doing pretty good. Energies a little bit underperforming. You got materials underperforming. Tech and communications underperforming the most during the day. Okay, so I didn't really get an idea of. I mean, I didn't see much on what the Fed talked about yesterday at all. So, Powell says Trump couldn't fire him even if he tried. I don't think Trump really cares to fire Powell, honestly. I know a lot of it. I know a lot of that has been talked about and whatever. I mean, I think Powell's done a pretty good job for the most part. Every president wants to have a good, thriving economy, but I think he's done a pretty good job for what he's had to deal with. Union puts potential Philadelphia mass transit strike on hold. Icon Treasury set for best week. Yeah, Treasury set for best week in 2 months after Trump whiplash. So, what do you mean treasuries? Right? Did we not just see that best week? What do you mean best week? I mean, we haven't really done anything. Oh, well, I guess from last Friday, where we closed last Friday. Yeah, from last Friday down. I mean, we're going to be down on yield, so yeah, that makes sense why the headlines would say treasury yields are up. So from like last Friday, where we closed last Friday on November 1st, yields our bond prices are up, but okay, I makes sense. But it's only because the past 2 months haven't past 2 months, I mean, yields have been going higher, so a little bit of yields dropping off this week sent treasury yields or treasury prices higher. Investors dial back Trump trades as policy questions persist. I don't know. Are we really seeing Trump trade dial back? The market's up. So nice try there, headline. Thousands rally in Bangladesh. Yes. I saw a little bit of this. Anyways, thousands rally in Bangladesh capital as major political party demands quick reform and an election. Interesting. SP 500 closes in on 6K. Yeah, that's right. So we are getting close to 600 on SPY, right? We're only a couple points away, like 2 points away. So yeah, we're getting really close there. So when you look at the SPX, I mean, it is really close to that 6,000 number. Will we hit it today? Guys, we're so close, like we can easily have like a 5-minute pop to it. So yes, we're that close. I wouldn't say it's not possible. We're that close. Anyways, is futures there? Futures are actually over 6,000. I actually closed over 6,000 yesterday. So, there you go. Futures. Up over it. Yeah, I mean, just look at the futures this week, man. Just past 3 days were just crazy. All right. That's 20 billion stock market surge basically the past couple of days. Okay. All right. I mean, that's a lot of the headlines. Yeah, as we know, we got a lot of movement this week. I'm gonna take a look at TSLA. I know recently we kind of talked about, and a lot of it had to come from earnings. This move up was a pretty solid move, right? Over the past couple of years, we've formed this like lower high move that has come in, and we were starting to kind of break through that back in the summer, and then even back in September, but then we had that quick little drop off. And so you were consistently starting to get through this downtrending channel. So it's just a matter of time before you got these huge pops. And after earnings last, whenever that was, a week ago or 2 weeks ago? Yeah, October 23rd. It was kind of like, yeah, you want to be looking for positions. And then it's getting a really good bump from that. Obviously, Elon Musk being aligned with Trump and him winning the election is looking pretty good for investors there. Anyways, so Tesla, that's about the only public way to play Elon Musk and that side of things. DJT, the Truth Social, Donald Trump Media. You can see it had a pretty strong pop there on Wednesday, faded, dropped off. So, okay. I mean, I'm not one to be like, yeah, you should definitely be into Truth Social. But it just is interesting how the market moves on things like that. Cat and deer are down. Deer. So yeah, cat and deer both had pretty decent gap up. So here's deer, nice gap up, fade down Wednesday, and then it bounced a little bit yesterday, and then it dropped off again today. So yeah, I mean that's really interesting. Price action for deer, an American company, over the past couple of days, that has this does not look like the normal stock market, right? So something's going on here. In June, Deere Company announced plans to move some manufacturing to Mexico, despite warnings of a potential 200% tariff on farm equipment, confirming its commitment to these relocation strategies. Okay, so there you go. Seems like they might be facing tariff issues that they said we're going to continue to plow ahead with our plow ahead with our plans on relocating down to Mexico. So might be some similar situations here with Cat. One possible play is look for. I'm not going to delve into that. Is possibly looking for heavy machinery company that's mostly located in the U.S. That might not be a bad play. Between like Cat, Deere, I don't know if there's another one that's publicly traded. Like Ewald. I know Ewald tractors are probably probably the fastest growing, I think, tractor company out there. Guys, this is not my area. I'm just trying to throw ideas out there. So, anyways, I mean, you got Mitsubishi. Obviously, that's mostly probably located over in like Japan and stuff like that. So, anyways, those are some ideas. I don't know how to probably get exposure to all that, but RTX. So let's take a look at defense sector stocks. Actually, that's not a bad thing. That's we got a nice little gap up there on Wednesday. Nice little pullback there through Thursday's close. Nice bounce today, up 3% there on Raytheon or old Raytheon RTX. Lockheed Martin, nice gap up. Man, what a volatile day that sucker had on Wednesday. Yeah, first 15 minutes at least, so like just came all the way down and snagged the low from Monday there, and then has bounced since then at the weekly highs right now. So Lockheed Martin up 2%. Who else? NOC, Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman doing pretty good, up 1.4%. Looks very much like RTX on the week. We looked at Lockheed Martin. General Dynamics. Nice gap up. Moving higher. Looking pretty good. Up 1%. So, yeah, it looks like defense contractors did okay. ANET is not doing okay. ANET had earnings. They beat top and bottom line, so they must have said something bad about forecasts. Arista Networks experienced a decline of 4.6% of the stock price. Better quarterly results, yeah. Well, they probably said something bad about forecasts. PGR, Lilly. If you like pharmaceuticals, I don't really know how much you'd really want to be exposed to them, but if you know that space, you might be having some decent areas there because they did not do well on Wednesday. So, yeah, if you're more in touch with the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry, there might be some decent opportunities there for some trades, right? Because how much they underperformed this week. ANSS, MSCI. Doing pretty good today, up 2.9%, so it looks pretty good. All right, Alpha Hunters, that is kind of how things are going to shape up for the week. I mean, we're not going to drop off 1,000%, so looking pretty good. Oh, this is what, real quick before we get off. Weekly market looks, look at that move on the SPY. Very strong. Q's very strong. IWM massively strong. So SPY was up 4.7% for the week. And obviously, these are just going to be current as of now. 5.3% there for the Qs. The IWM 8.4% for the week. Yeah, it's a pretty strong move there on the IWM. The DIA up 4.75. RSP up 4.4%. So IWM clear winner of the week. Looking pretty good. As far as how things went for the week, I'm going to take a look at sector rotation because I meant to do this. November 4th. There we go. I wanted to see what did the best for the week. Yeah, there we go. Discretionaries. So that'd probably be a lot of Tesla, right? We just saw the Tesla chart. Tesla was just absolutely crushing this week. Tesla looking pretty good. Okay. Energies, industrials, tech, and financials. Financials had a crazy strong day there on Wednesday. Really strong. Gave up not all of it, but had a really strong pullback yesterday, but you can see bouncing today. So financials also did pretty well. Communications underperformed for the week, mostly because of activity today. They were looking pretty good up until close of yesterday. Real estate underperforming. Yeah, I mean, yields have been all over the place this week. Anyways, healthcare definitely underperformed. Yeah, big election news there. So materials also underperforming. Now, I wonder if a lot of that has to do because the dollar is up so strong this week that we're seeing maybe some of those material commodity prices down. So some of those material companies are not doing as well because of those commodity prices. Anyways, utilities and staples at the lower end of the week. So healthcare, staples, a lot of that probably is just more tied to, Trump winning the election, RFK Jr. and his goal to kind of re-examine how the health regulations agencies are, I guess authoritative bodies are doing their jobs and stuff like that. So that'd probably be my thing on the XLP, XLV on why they've underperformed this week. Utilities, yeah, utilities is an interesting one. I don't know why they're underperforming as much. I think, in my opinion, Trump is more of a pro. Where is it at? Is more of a pro, like a nuclear energy, which, I mean, all these utilities are doing pretty well today, but Trump is a little bit more of a pro nuclear person, so you might see them do very well. And I get it; they've been running very strong for much of the year. So, I mean, having a bad week on when the market was up very strong this week, not exactly the worst thing ever. So, anyways, Alpha have a great weekend, and yeah, we'll just see how things kind of go next week. But I think the IWM, I think the market spoke. The IWM, small caps, RSP, probably going to be the areas that look the best going forward. Qs, I don't really want to say the DIA, but I'm not really a big fan of the DIA just in general, no matter what. But I would say the Qs probably not as much because it's very concentrated into very large corporations. SPY, I think it's going to be okay. The SP 500 is going to be fine. It's just, I think there's going to be better opportunities. That's it. Other than that, Alpha, have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. enjoy any TV that you watch without political advertisements. That's the winning note of the week. Have funners. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.